Remember this unit as it was before the fall.
God, so sad. So I completely respect my character, because I realized that there was that machine in the cargo hold that I still had never actually used, and what made me think of that was because I went to go look at their abilities, the companion abilities, and I realized that they had added with the expansion pack a couple new abilities. So I respect myself and I respect my two companions. I also removed my inventory, well, almost all of my inventory, because after respecking, I didn't have nearly as much carry capacity. So I have gone with 100 handguns to focus on my little gun that I've got. I put a bunch of dialogue stuff, mostly Persuade, also a little of the others, but, you know, with the Chimera suit, also Parvati there, and Vicar Max, I've got a lot of extra for that. I got a lot more than I anticipated. Plus 38, wow. I didn't realize I had that much, but I guess that's in some of the perks that I took as well. Plus 42 just from Parvati. Wow. Look, I'm not maxed out, but I'm over 100 on a lot of these just because of who I've got in my party. And I put a little bit in Inspiration and Determination, so still pretty well rounded, but I've got strong dialogue, strong stealth, and strong tech abilities. The perks I took were health, my sprint speed, companion crit chance, armor, carrying capacity, lower movement penalty to my accuracy so I can aim a bit better, headshots and weak spot damage. I can reach farther. My quiet gun is more powerful as well. I also upped my dialogue skills just in case I need to talk to anybody here. I don't know if I will need to. Armor Master, Confidence, which will give me a critical hit after killing somebody, Penetrating Shots, which I've had before, Don't Go Dying on Me, and Boom Headshots. And then for these two, I just went all into her special abilities. As you can see, there are the two new ones down there. So Engineering up, better chance to extract mods, more time dilation, which I'm going to try to use more often if I need to actually fight in this or on Gorgon. Auto mechanical damage down because it seems like we're going to run into a lot of those. More tactical time dilation, and also second wind. And then Max has base health and threat generation up so he can act more as a tank. Hack up, dialogue combat effectiveness, so my abilities that will make them like scramble and cower and stuff have an increased effect duration. Also, planned intervention, so he'll taunt enemies around me if my health drops too low, so he'll attract their attention even more, and then also stand your ground. And I was looking at the companion abilities and I realized that it's not something that they'll do on their own, it's something I just never actually made them do myself. Because like, you can see I'm clicking the buttons right down there on the lower left, the D-pad. Apparently that's how you activate them, and I just never even thought of it. So all this time I've had these two with their abilities that I've just never used. So let's see, where was it? Back in the kitchen. Sneak around back here. Oh, I guess I don't need to because I could have just gone up through the door that I unbarred. Anyway, let's get back to it. Login is Olivia. Logs. And they're all in order, so we'll start at the top. February 1st, 2324. This morning I gave birth to a healthy child. Perhaps that's a strange distinction to call her healthy, but after all I've endured to finally meet her, it matters. That she exists at all against the odds matters. I will call her Wilhelmina. Oh, so Wilhelmina's the daughter. Okay, I will call her Wilhelmina after my late brother Wilhelm. I hope the law is kinder to her than it was to him. I hope for many things, truthfully, that she be smart and shrewd, that she be strong, relentless, undeniable. Most of all, I hope for her a steel spine, that she does not bend when Halcyon would break her, that she be stronger than I. March 17th. I must find Minnie a wet nurse. She demands to be fed throughout the day and night, and I simply cannot get a single thing done. The nurse will need to be exceptional, smart, educated, of means. Minnie must have the best start if she's going to survive the pit of vipers that is the Byzantium elite. Then there is the matter of a governess. I can't watch the child constantly, not if I'm to do my work. How soon must I begin looking? Naturally, she'll have to be exceptional as well, and exceptional Byzantines don't exactly grow on trees. I will persuade Harvey to investigate this for me. The man has little else to do. Was Harvey the one outside the groundskeeper? November 22nd. Oh, this is a few years later. It says 2329. I don't understand how anyone of ambition has time to keep a journal. I certainly don't. It's been like 5 years since you wrote. Yet here I am, indulging myself. Minnie's influence, no doubt. Her behavior concerns me. She's clingy, emotional. At 5, she should be starting to show some personality, not crying for her mother when I leave her for another stint on Gorgon. This must be the fault of Marie, her governess, as Minnie certainly didn't learn this behavior from me. I'll have to fire the woman. It's clear she's not capable of instilling in Minnie a correct understanding of how to behave. Harvey despairs of ever finding a governess who meets my preposterous standards. He and I went in circles on the issue for hours, but he came around to my thinking eventually. Why shouldn't I want what's best for my daughter? Maybe I'll fire him too. June 5th, 2337. So again, quite a few years later. So Wilhelmina would be a teenager by this point. I am at my wit's end with Minnie. At 13, she should have already mastered basic chemistry, physics, and mathematics, but she can barely handle long division. She struggles to remember the simplest equations and formulas no matter how many times her governess raps her knuckles. By the time I was her age, I had already made dynamite in my grandfather's laboratory. The only thing Minnie's making explode is my head. Her father asked me why we don't just send her to boarding school, but I abhor the thought of her surrounded by those coddled idiots. More alarming still, she's begun to show an interest in romance serials and painting. She may have a strong grasp of color theory, and she shows some promise with watercolors, but surely that's the result of her education in spectroscopy, not any innate skill. What value has art, anyway? She gave me a truly dreadful painting of Francis this morning, and I haven't a clue what to do with it. Perhaps I'll stuff it in my desk. We'll have a good laugh over it when she's grown and finally comes to her senses. Wow, Olivia, she is shitty. April 28th, 2348, so this is like 11 years later. So now she's in her 20s. You just get a sip of water. Lucian appeared at the manor this morning. I thought him here for me, to finally wring my neck after our latest tiff, but no, it was much worse than that. He'd come to speak to Minnie. No need to guess why. She's taken it upon herself to manage the household these last few years, since neither her father nor I have the time, or, frankly, inclination. Under her watch, the staff's productivity has increased 35% while reducing our cost an astonishing 67%. We've saved tens of thousands of bits. Harvey tipped Lucian off, I expect. Now he wants to bring her on to help manage the Gorgon facilities, which I refuse over Minnie's vociferous protestations. She cried after he'd left. I only wish I could tell her why. So Minnie has grown up to just be amazing at numbers. So we don't know what happened in the intervening years. Was she forced to give up art and then just had to learn how to be a good manager? And now, Lucian wanted Minnie to come and manage the facilities on Gorgon, which are a Space's Choice facility. I guess they're producing something for Space's Choice here. And Minnie really wanted to go, but Olivia didn't let her. For some reason she wouldn't say, but now we've got the deleted logs. Oh, they're multiples. Let's see, 2348. How far along was that? So this is 2348 April. This is October, so not that much longer. How did I raise such a willful daughter? She's no longer requesting to join the project, but demanding. I'm ready, I can help you, it's what I want. She doesn't know what she's asking. Gorgon is not safe. Compound X is in the air. It's infected the water and the food. It's no longer just the test subjects and the laboratory techs in danger now. Even the general staff are beginning to feel its effects. Even I feel it. I'm tied up in knots. I know what I must do, the only way I can persuade her away, but it'll kill me to do it. Minnie, I'll say, You just don't have what it takes. You're too shallow, too simple, too weak. She'll hate me for it. I'm sure it will destroy her, but it will work. She'll be safe. That's all I care about for now. So what is this, was it Chemical X? Compound X? January 3rd, 2350, 2 years later. Harvey is gone. His body's still alive, but the man I married is dead. Okay, so he was not the groundskeeper. He was the... Oh, that was H. Ambrose. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. I was just not putting that together, I guess. So the man I married is dead. He broke into my office and stole the last of my release candidate ampules. Busted the door to splinters in his withdrawal fury. Oh, so he's after the chemical. I chartered a shuttle to bring him to the facility for medical care, even convinced Priyantha to oversee the transfer. Priyantha. Is that an... That name sounds familiar. Was that, Is that the name of Parvati's mother? I might just be making that up completely. Even convinced Priyantha to oversee the transfer. He didn't want to. Oh, okay, so that... Probably not. He didn't want to, was worried it wasn't safe, but I begged him. Harvey killed the shuttle crew, Priyantha too. Oh, maybe that wasn't he. He was Harvey. Okay, so it could still be her mother. Harvey killed the shuttle crew, Priyantha too. But the shuttle wouldn't take off without its pilot, and I couldn't stop his raging, so I left the ship on the landing pad for days, watched him tear it to pieces with his bare hands. He lost a lot of blood. I brought him inside once he'd finally passed out and shoved him into a stasis solution tube. My work did this to him. Mine. Me. I did this. I'll tell Lucien. Surely now he'll delay the release. Surely after this. So Wilhelmina, let's see what she says. The search continues. I take from these entries that Mother was severe with her editorial pen. This is but one version of her, carefully curated, and not the one I wanted to find. Where is her unvarnished stream of consciousness? Where is her spontaneous brilliance? The search continues. My efforts will inevitably steer me to Gorgon. What then, Minnie? What then? So does she... Wait. So she put this on this terminal here. Minnie wrote this on Olivia's terminal. But it sounds like she hadn't yet come to Gorgon whenever she wrote it. So was this terminal brought here, or does this connect to a mainframe somewhere else? Huh. Anyway. 150, jeez. I mean, it's not that stuff's worth it, but wow, 150. Pocket watch, bracelet. Just gonna take your valuables. Is this a fabric, or what is that? I guess it is. Thought maybe something had fallen from the ceiling. It's a very interesting, like, water feature thing. So she is back behind here. So she's probably in one of those two rooms. M. What is the M? Goodbye letter. Dearest mother and father. Oh, M for Minnie. Okay, I thought it would be Wilhelmina, but I guess everybody called her Minnie throughout her life. Dearest mother and father, I've paced the halls of this gilded cage long enough. Since you won't permit me to help the family business, I'm leaving to start a business of my own. Am I too young for such ambitions? Perhaps. But that is the risk you take when you fashion a daughter in your image. Byzantium will welcome me with open arms. Won't that be a new sensation? If I ever return, it'll be to claim my rightful spot at the head of this family. Oh, is she in there right now, like, lost her mind, just gloating over her mother's dead body or something? So, we're on Gorgon right now, right? Or is this an asteroid that's near Gorgon and Gorgon is like kind of off? Like it could be that glowing one that we saw out the window from the office. Because the way that Minnie wrote that that entry before, saying she was going to go to Gorgon, that it kind of makes me think that because she grew up here, right? Here in this gilded cage in this room. Got a lot of valuables all over too. I like the spaceship motif on the stained glass. Oh, I thought with the blue there it was a door that was openable, but it is not. It's just a closet too, isn't it? Alright, I guess I'll have to go in here and get this. There she is.
Is that you, Lucky? Huh? Apparently not. Well, join me for a drink, Mr. Whoever you are.
Alright, Wilhelmina. See, that must be Gorgon out there.
So who the devil are you?
I can still keep up the Alex Hawthorne thing. Jay's captain of the Unreliable.
You don't say. Well, make yourself at home, Captain. I'm sure we have much to discuss. Do you see that glowing chunk of space rock? That's Gorgon.
Okay, I was right.
My birthright, my burden, and the bane of my existence. I hate to drink alone, and this is my third. So join me in raising a glass to Gorgon.
I mean, I do enjoy some whiskey, and I assume this is fancy whiskey since we're out here in like the super rich people's house. Give a solemn toast to Gorgon. Give a cheerful toast. Are you Minnie? Toast the asteroid? I mean, she seems pretty happy. Okay, so here, a cheerful toast. This is probably gonna knock me on my ass. I bet it's poisoned. Anyway.
To Gorgon. May cosmic winds shepherd her to the nearest star.
Oh, you want to destroy it? You want to run it into a star?
I'm Wilhelmina Ambrose, but you can keep it short and call me Minnie. Now, what brings you to my house, handsome? I take it you didn't come all this way for the beverages, the starry skies, or the pleasant company.
Well, those things are an added bonus. I'm here about the severed arm, just seeing the sights, roaming the colony. Yeah, I received a very curious package.
A severed arm? How positively ghoulish. You know this is a private residence, not a curio shop?
I'm not here to buy it. Does the name Lucky Montoya mean anything to you? She did just say she thought it was Lucky come in. So it sounds like they were probably working together on, like, I guess, taking Gorgon from her family? The arm came with a portable phonograph that mentioned you by name. Lucky Montoya's arm is stinking up my ship. I want to say one of these. I know the name Lucky means something to her because she just said it, so I'll say it came with a portable phonograph that mentioned you.
Really? Huh. Now this severed limb, did it have dark hair? Rugged knuckles? Chewed fingernails?
I didn't investigate that closely. Sorry, I didn't look that closely.
The next time someone mails you a severed limb, you really ought to pay better attention. I can only think of one man daring enough to jettison his extremities on my behalf. Lucky Montoya is my personal freelancer. Fascinating man, very brooding and theatrical, always staring into space and twirling a bullet over his knuckles.
The more lost we feel, the more we put on a show for others.
But if something happened to him... Oh dear. I suppose that makes him my former freelancer now?
I mean, there's a 93% chance that he died, so there's still like 7% that he's still alive. I can't say anything about that though. Sorry about your loss. What is this arm doing on my ship? Any idea who might have wanted him killed? She probably sees him more as a business acquaintance, not as like an actual friend or not colleague, but like someone close to her. Any idea who might have wanted him killed?
You suspect foul play?
They did mail his arm to me.
If we're being honest, I haven't given it much thought. What a time for his luck to run out. We were in the middle of something grand, and I really can't afford another setback.
Oh, I'm not intelligent enough. Oh, man. I should have... If I would have known, I would have tried, like, drinking something that would give me a plus to mind attributes. You sure got over the bad news fast. What were you two doing? Yeah, it makes sense that she'd get over the bad news, because it was just someone who worked for her. What were you doing?
Settling an old score. How would you like to be my new freelancer? There's been a recent vacancy.
So I've heard.
You're well suited to the job.
You offer work to everyone who breaks into your home? Must be some kind of Byzantine tradition I ain't know about.
Seems that way, right?
I don't believe you thought this through. Or much else, for that matter.
I'm looking for someone rough around the edges. A gorgeous, dashing scoundrel type. Incidentally, someone good with their hands.
Are you seriously offering me the dead guy's job? How likely am I to wind up like your old freelancer? Gorgeous? I'm gonna go with that, like, oh, you're so kind, saying such nice things about me.
I like my employees well-groomed. Appearances are everything in high society.
Okay, are you looking for a hired gun or a runway model?
I'm looking for both. Remember, I'm rich enough that I can afford to be choosy. And I choose you, dear Captain. Allow me to lay out the facts, and you can decide for yourself if you want to be my chief investigator. My mother, Dr. Olivia Ambrose, worked for Spacer's Choice at the Gorgon Research Facility. She was brilliant, the top scientist in her field, until tragedy struck.
Were you the tragedy? Because I don't know, it seemed like you really wanted it to get that thing, you know, your birthright, Gorgon, but she wasn't giving it to you, and it's all kind of suspicious. I'm not surprised Space's Choice is one big accident waiting to happen. Space's Choice would never allow anything to... Oh, yeah, that is definitely not it. I'm not surprised.
I wish I could say otherwise. One day, Spacer's Choice shut down all research and evacuated Gorgon. Everyone had to scramble or risk getting left behind. It was chaos. Employees fled for their lives. Mother never made it home. I'm told she wasn't the only casualty that fateful day.
That must have been real hard on you, losing your mother all of a sudden like that. I'm sorry to hear it, ma'am.
Thank you. Ambrose ladies are supposed to be resilient to the unexpected, but this was especially hard on me. Mother's name has since been dragged through the mud. Spacer's Choice blames her for the collapse of Project Gorgon, and I just know they're lying.
She does seem to be very upset about it, so maybe she did care for her mother in the end. I have a feeling the mother's still alive, though, and we're gonna find her on Gorgon. So let's see, Mother's name's dragged through the mud. Space's Choice blames her, because of course they would. Sounds like she was their patsy.
My thoughts exactly. Mother would not have allowed Project Gorgon to fail. Something happened on that asteroid, and my family took the fall for it.
What did you send Lucky to find? Tell me about your mother. What do you think happened? Yeah, what do you think happened on Gorgon?
I don't know, and Spacer's Choice won't say. They don't discuss anything that tarnishes their brand. Gorgon has a dark history. The project fell apart. Personnel were shuffled across the system. With Mother gone, now I'm all that's left.
So we know that there was that chemical, that Compound X, Chemical X, whatever it was, that drove Harvey insane and eventually caused him to die. So, and that's in the air on Gorgon. So she may not be alive. She may have been driven insane by the chemical herself and have died. Or she could be alive and just insane and we'll have to fight her. There must be someone who knows what happened on Gorgon. Where's your father? Oh, we can't ask about her father. This Gorgon's just an empty wasteland. Oh, I have a feeling it's not, but...
Not empty. The corporate presence may have withdrawn, but smugglers have made a tidy little nest for themselves, along with law knows who else. The asteroid may look like a glittering jewel, but I assure you the resemblance ends there. Gorgon is poisonous to the core. One might even say cursed.
Tell me about your mother.
I admired Mother, but we weren't close. She disapproved of everything about me, really. I couldn't measure up to her example. She didn't make time for us. I remember thinking that she never wanted a child, and never forgave me for being one. Naive and irresponsible as I was.
So, yeah, she really sounds just like a terrible mother from her own writings and now from her daughter. But for some reason, her daughter doesn't seem to hold it all against her. I mean, she was very upset by it all as a child, but... yikes, what did she want? A fully grown lab assistant? Her research must have been important. Maybe there's another side. There must be, because the way that she was writing in her entry on her mother's terminal kind of sounds like there would be. Maybe there's another side to that story.
No doubt. I only wish Mother was here to tell it in her own words. Mother worked herself to the bone. She wanted to make the colony a better place, no matter who or what got sacrificed along the way. She never spared a thought for those of us who cherished her, who suffered for her idea of progress.
Did you two ever get along? Gorgon pulled you apart. Sounds like she was pretty consumed by her work. Both of those are worth saying. Did you two ever get along?
We got close once. When I was a child, I enjoyed looking over Mother's shoulder, playing backseat chemist while she peered into a microscope. One day, she told me to leave before I broke something. Then, I got mad and broke something. Typical night in the Ambrose house.
Oh, that hurts my heart to hear, ma'am. My dad was real dedicated to his work, too, but he always let me help. Made me feel, I don't know, special. Like I had something to offer. I wish you could have had that with your mother.
Mother and Gorgon were made for each other. I had the misfortune to be stuck in the middle. I need your help, Captain. Project Gorgon killed Mother and disgraced the Ambrose name, and no one has been held accountable. Spacer's Choice buried the past like a dirty secret.
Practically strangers, why put your trust in me? You've lost one gunslinger already. What makes you think I'll do any better? Are you interested in justice, revenge, or both? Oh, 1 and 3 there. Kinda leaning 3, though.
Neither. It's vindication I want. Whatever happened on Gorgon wasn't Mother's fault. I simply need the evidence to prove it. We're going to drag the truth kicking and screaming into the light. Even if it means bringing ruin and humiliation to Spacer's Choice. All the evidence I need should be in Mother's journal. You can find it in her office on Gorgon, in the heart of the old research facility.
You know, you had me at bringing bringing ruin to Space's Choice. Let's see. First, I have questions. If it helps you get closure, I'll find the journal Danger and Corporate Intrigue. This sounds like my kind of job. Don't worry. If Space's Choice is hiding something, I'll get to the bottom. Can't make promises till I've seen Gorgon myself. Okay, first I have questions.
I I'm not surprised. Between the family drama and the corporate conspiracy, it must feel like you've stepped on a landmine. Speak freely, Captain.
What good is your mother's journal? Why did you wait? How did this investigation get Lucky killed? Let's start at the top, I guess. What good is your mother's journal to you now?
I suspect it will prove that corporate greed and incompetence were to blame for the calamity at Gorgon, and not Mother. Mother was a brilliant woman. Difficult, cold, unreachable even, but brilliant.
Could Spacer's Choice have taken the journal?
Spacer's Choice evacuated in a hurry, leaving a fortune's worth of equipment in their wake. Mother's journal would have escaped their notice. This is my last hope of redeeming the Ambrose name. I don't like my chances, but I have to try. And I need help. Your help.
Why did you wait so long before starting the investigation?
I didn't want to go anywhere near Gorgon. Once I exhausted all my options, the search led me back here. I even had Mother declared legally dead. Would you believe it took 5 years to process the paperwork?
Surprised it went that quickly. Never found her body, did they? See, God, I wish I had the intelligence to say that. Because that's what I'm feeling like. They didn't find her body. She's still up there. I'm not sure I see the connection. Does her being legally dead help you somehow?
It isn't as bad as you make it sound, but technically, yes. Mother's body is still on Gorgon. No body means no death certificate, which means no inheritance.
I see.
I killed Mother, just on paper, of course, so I could claim my inheritance. We wouldn't be standing here if I didn't have access to the family fortune. I once assumed the mansion and the money would be enough to redeem the Ambrose name. But even in Byzantium, prestige must be earned, and it can so easily be lost.
Are you saying we just want to break into high society? Or you just want to break into high society? Why didn't that work? So you've tried everything, and this journal's your last hope. Yeah, is this all just to get into high society? I mean, I have a feeling she doesn't want only that. I mean, of course she wants that on the side, I'm sure. That she is this, like, wealthy girl who came from means. Are you saying you just want to break into high society?
Break back into high society, yes.
Yeah, I thought you were trying to vindicate your mother. The same high society that framed your mother? Oh, maybe she wants to get revenge from within.
I have Spacer's Choice to thank for that. The smear campaign against Mother was the work of cowards. I'm vindicating the family name for her, for the colony, and for my future.
What do you stand to gain? What can you do for Halcyon? Your future? Oh, I want to ask all of them. But, yeah, what do you personally stand to gain from this?
Everything that Mother lost. This colony is in trouble.
Yeah, I know.
The lunatics at Spacer's Choice are running the asylum, and we need better people to wield their influence. After Gorgon, I quickly discovered that the Ambrose name was cursed, for lack of a better term. I had no place among the decision makers. No seat at the table. That is why I'm clearing the record and vindicating the Ambrose line. For Mother, for me, and for the generations who will one day inherit Halcyon.
Does she know, like, the depths of dysfunction that are going on? Like, does she actually want to help out, or is this more just a personal thing? That she really wants to just help herself and, I guess, her own kind of, like, personal dynasty? I mean, I don't know if she's going to go have kids or anything, but, do you think your plan will work? What is the actual plan? Just, like, clearing the name? Not the name. clearing her family name, and this is for the generations who will one day inherit Halcyon. Do you think your plan will work?
I know it will.
How did this investigation get Lucky killed?
You know as much as I do, I'm afraid. Spacer's Choice abandoned Gorgon, but the asteroid is far from unoccupied. Between the marauders, the wildlife, and whatever escaped the labs, danger abounds.
Got it. Marauders, I hate marauders. What kind of wildlife? Why would there be wildlife on an asteroid? And wait, what is... I just completely glazed over that when she said it, but something escaped the labs? Hold on.
Toward the end of the project, I heard Mother grumble about some test subjects running amok outside of their enclosure. I wish I could tell you more.
Oh, no.
Just watch yourself. If you aren't careful, you stand to lose more than an arm.
You got any more of that whiskey?
I believe that covers it all. Are you ready to get started? We mustn't allow the trail to get cold.
It helps you get closure, danger incorporate, Yeah, don't worry. If Space's Choice is hiding something, I'll get to the bottom of it.
I believe you're the first person to ever side with me against the corporation. It's a refreshing change. When you reach Gorgon, pack a weapon you trust. The corporate lockdown hasn't stopped the wilderness from squirming in through the cracks.
What can I expect to face? What did you tell Lucky about this job? Oh. Because if she told him something that he wasn't expecting, whatever might be there, I don't know. What did you tell him?
I told him everything I've told you. Just the facts. Maybe a couple of harmless embellishments. Why?
Harmless embellishments? Trying to calculate the odds of this gig getting me killed. Just making sure I have what I need. Yeah.
Still, you're smart to ask. Lucky spent most of our time together spinning a pistol around his index finger. Not sure he listened to any of my advice. But you won't let me down, will you, Captain?
What can I expect to face?
I've never understood why, but Gorgon is teeming with marauders. They almost seem drawn to sorrow and misfortune. Then there's the test subjects, those who survived anyway. Ravenous creatures left behind like so much salvage.
The more I hear about this asteroid, the worse it sounds.
Perhaps we should cut the Q&A short in that case. I don't want you having second thoughts. There's a little saloon near Gorgon's landing pad, the Sprat Shack. Lucky was renting a room, so if you want to follow his trail, that would be the place to start.
Oh, you think maybe they got a little mascot? Like a sprat in a tiny hat?
Oh, I hope so.
Just so we understand each other, money is no object. I'm willing to squander the family fortune if you get me what I want. Between your payment and any salvage you happen across, you'll walk away from this rich enough to buy a mansion of your own. How does that sound?
Hey, what's the catch? Yeah, there's always a catch.
The catch? No one's ever done this before, and the only person who tried is a corpse. Believe me, that's enough. Here's your nav key, Captain. Safe travels.
Maybe you don't need to hear this from me, but I'm sorry about your mother. Oh, well, yeah, at least we can give some little niceties here at the end. 21,000 experience, look at that.
Spacer's Choice should be the one apologizing, but thank you. Sincerely. A word of advice before you go, Captain. Trust no one.
Oh, I already...
Mother's
yeah.
office is in the heart of the Gorgon facility. You're free to salvage anything that isn't nailed down. I only want what's mine.
Mysterious heiress, unexpected gainful employment. It's like something out of a detective serial.
Don't worry about us. We're well versed in helping ourselves to anything that's not nailed down.
Man, yeah, like I said, she right there at the end said, trust no one, and I'm still a little iffy about her. I mean, I want to trust her, but at the same time, I feel like I probably shouldn't. It's that iceberg aged whiskey. She gave me one of those, didn't she? At glacial age, our whiskey is made of tripical mash, mildly fermented in all copper stills, aged in charred, mostly oak barrels, all located deep inside frigid ice caves. Aged, it's glacial aged. Gives you personality and dexterity, low perception, lower charm. And I wish you could just like pause the conversation, like in Fallout and Skyrim, you can just back up. Is that in? Oh, it's in Fallout 4, not Skyrim. In Fallout 4, you can just back up and be like, okay, I'm just gonna pop a pill or a mentat or something. All right, now we're back. It's just a bin. What about this one? Ooh, a model spaceship. I guess that's it for all of this place. So if this isn't Gorgon, what is this place actually called? It's just the Ambrose Mansion. And also there's a town, I guess, on Gorgon. Since there's an inn there that you can rent, that Lucky rented a room in. I assume I can't rent a room in it. But I mean, it's kind of nice that we'll have a little town there, and that also leads me to believe that this will be a bigger thing than I was expecting. It's going to be like a small adventure, like, you know, another planet-sized thing.
And responses? How clumsy of this unit.
Oh, calamity. Look at this out here. We don't see Gorgon anywhere. I guess Gorgon is like, or maybe it's on a different part of, yeah, it's just a different landing pad.
We are now in orbit above Gorgon.
All right. Well, before we start that, I'm ready for dinner, so I'm gonna stop here. Oh, that's not the right one. I need to save. Yep. I'm going to stop here, save for the night, and we will pick this up again soon. So good night, and see you next time.